Juan, how's it going?
Jeff, how are you? Thank you for connecting with me today. How you been?
I've been really good. I think considering everything, it's been crazy. You know, a lot of business stuff trying to like figure out, and it's nuts. You know, this trying to get bank loans and put out, but also like producing content to provide as much value as we can for everybody has been. I've said this to a couple people. I am busier than I've ever been, and it's crazy because I also see it as a time to when are we going to get time like this again, right? So to work on projects. So it's kind of what we're both kind of have ideas here to kind of do some stuff. But how about you? How are you?
I'm good. Well, good if you can say good, but like affected a lot. Both ways, work related and hobby related, because this was the best time for me to go out there. I had some workshop planned that didn't happen because the coronavirus. And so I had to postpone all my plans. Also, all the weddings that I have planned for this month and next month are all canceled. So back in March, I sat on my office here and I thought about it. What can I do? What can I do? So I come up with a few projects to entertain myself. Like one is to create a YouTube channel where I share like my journey in photography, and I'm working in some books, photography related as well. Projects that I have, how do you can say this in a box of, like you put projects in a box and you say, oh, I'll come back to this one day. So that was perfect time to open that box and bring back all these projects. So I have, like I said, a few books ideas, a few projects with film photography. I have my agenda full, but unfortunately the places and some of those projects, they're supposed to happen in some specific places. It can't happen because it's all closed, right? So I have to reinvent those projects. Right. I don't want to spoil anything now, but but I have some crazy project. But other than that, like I've been catching up with all work at home, cooking a lot. I become a master chef pretty much. I developed 2 different ways to wash dishes.
Oh,
and I learned how to do my laundry, but finally. But other than that, yeah, great. Missing you guys, missing the gym, missing working out, like the crazy stuff. It's not the same going for a run, do some things. Not the same. I'm missing the gym, missing all the guys there. Definitely, I want this finished as soon as possible so I can mainly go back to lift some weights again.
All right. And, I hear you loud and clear. No, it's and I know a lot about we've talked a lot, and then I knew your little journey and kind of what you kind of had brewing. So I think it's really cool to see you publishing YouTube stuff and doing all that, and that's amazing. It's all about you imagery, right? Is your
my YouTube channel is my own. It's Juan Busiglio. It's my own personal thing. It's all about you. Imagery is my wedding side.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, but but that is different because I work with different people on my wedding side. It's not personal, and it's not my vision on weddings. I do have a vision, but it's more like what the customer wants. My photography is why I express what I feel. I don't know. That's so it's the channel is for everybody who will be watching this. Please go into YouTube, put my name, Juan Busiglio Photography, and you'll find my video, and subscribe, comment, anything. Just help me to keep growing on this. I know I have a lot of things to learn on YouTube. I'm very shy when I have to film myself. Even though me that I'm not shy at all, but when I have to film myself, it's really hard. So when I see myself and the way that I speak and my wave of how my voice sounds is like, okay, I know that I have a lot to learn, but hey, I had to start at one point, and this is good. So, like I said, it's a journey. Mainly going to be about my photography year in terms of landscape photography and some project that I have on the side. But mainly will be focusing in landscape photography because I love landscape. I love to create art, photo galleries like the one that you see up there. I like to have art around my house, and hopefully I can sell some too. But that's I'm doing this more for the passion that I feel about photography.
It's usually the place to start. And yeah, people will sense that for sure. I think oh, yeah, that's good to know. Those are two are separate. I'm in a very similar boat, right? I think I have the gym, but I also have my own kind of stuff going on that I'm trying to build because I feel I have my own opinions and I have my own things I want to express that are separate than CrossFit, and there's a place for kind of both of those. So I'm doing the same thing, whereas I have, CrossFit Vibe. I also have what I've created, the movement and music stuff. So I kind of we'll get into that a little bit. But for you, I think I know your story, and it was a little bit about why you got into CrossFit and kind of what you were going through. But maybe people watching this don't. Like, what is your how did that kind of you getting the CrossFit and kind of like what was going on with you then? And then how did that lead kind of into kind of what you're doing now?
So, like some of you may know, but most of the people that probably be watching obviously don't know about it. Like about 8 years ago, I went through divorce, a really bad one actually. Not going into details onto that, but it put me in a state of mind that depressed me to a level. I mean, I always play sport, soccer player all my life, always active. And the divorce stage put me in a dark cloud. So I gained a lot of weight. I was unstable with family and friends. Uh, I don't know. My mind wasn't there. I lost the passion for photography. I remember my camera, put it in a bag, and throw it in the closet. I went through really crazy moments, and believe it or not, sitting eating pizza, like a lot pizza, which I still do, but was in a bad way, and having weird thought, like bad thought, like not just weird. Oh, I'm gonna go and cut my hair and paint it, whatever. No, other weird thought, like doing something wrong to yourself. Um, I was looking up through my phone and deciding to write a letter to somebody, like saying goodbye, kind of like thing, kind of those crazy thoughts, because my mind wasn't right there. And I saw this ad on Facebook. I don't know if we can say that word. They're not paying for this video, but anyway. Anyway, now and I saw this ad about a CrossFit place. If you want to change, and remember, I always says get fit. That was the
tagline there, yeah.
the thing, get fit, and something else. It doesn't come into my head right now. So and it happened to be 3 blocks for where I was eating pizza. So I walk into a place, very tiny gym full of people, big muscles, and everybody know each other. And I was the outsider, the guy who has this story that I don't know if I should tell or not. And me when if you're lucky enough to me share my story, that means that I want you in my circle. That means I trust you. If don't, you will meet the other one, the one that don't care about. But if I trust you enough to bring you in and be there, that's how I am. So I decided. Sadly, the owner was the owner of that gym. how do you say, passed away on early on that year. So kind of like my head was, this is just like an angel calling me in, something like that. That was in my head, and that's when I got hooked into CrossFit. And I remember Coach Tate. I don't know if he's looking at that. He's a great guy, great coach. He said, always used to call me a big guy, like that. And we have to do pull-ups. I hate it because I never done one pull-up in my life. That was one of my weakness. And he said, oh, don't worry about it. By the end of this month, you'll be, on the, on the top of the whiteboard. It was the whiteboard. I didn't know. Again, got no idea. And the first workout, it hooked me up, and I don't know, it developed this passion. So all of a sudden, I stopped being sad. I stopped being depressed, and then all of a sudden, I have energy, and I want to like keep going and keep, getting better and better and better. So in 3 months, I was a totally different person, dropped 23 pounds, and I was able to do 30 pull-ups in a row, and doing a power clean, a snatch, or things that I never thought about it in my life was able to do, Only was watching people doing this, but never thought about it. And it changed. And so it's been having in my head this CrossFit changed my life and changed a lot of people, the life of a lot of people in different ways from different problems. My problem was this divorce, breakup, and sadness, and being a foreign, not in my country, being an immigrant. So there's a lot of things adds up to that. But CrossFit changed my life and made me better, and I become a different person. My autoesteem, my self-esteem come like 100%. I become like a different guy. So more outgoing, even more than I am normally. More outgoing, more like, okay, if I can do this, yeah, I'll do it. And that's how I started. And one day, one guy said, "Oh, you know what? What was the time the CrossFit game was playing?" And 2013 was. And this guy said, "What is that?" Oh, so they explained me what it was. I said, "Damn, those guys, And they say, "Oh, you can do it too." And I say, "You know what? Maybe in 5 years, probably, who knows?" Okay, that's your goal. Put it in 5 years. And it was in my head. In 5 years, I probably can go. No idea what I was talking at that time. So I started pushing myself, and one of the guys say, "You know what? There's a competition this Saturday. You want to come check it out?" I said, "Sure." So I went and check it out, and I saw all these guys competing in different levels, and I said, "I can do that." And I got even hooked, more, and then change. And for 4 years, I've been trying to beat that guy that 7-8 years ago was. So I'm trying to beat that guy, not come back to that every time that I'm doing a workout. And this is true. We run and we do a lot of good workouts at the gym. And every time that I'm suffering and all that, I always go back in my head and I say, remember when you started and why you started. Keep going. So that's what I say in my head. It's kind of lame sometimes, but I try to push, And this is, that's kind of like a little story how CrossFit got me into. It brought my photography, spirit of passion back in. So I reopened my wedding side, my weddings business. I started photographing stuff. I started going into trips again, put camera out there and start photographing and start bring me all that back up. And that's the project that we talk about, together, and we are working together, and we did actually work. Hopefully at the end of the video, I'm going to post something of the thing that we did together. That my project, like, the relationship between the mind and the body. That's the project that I've been working on, and I'm working on, and with people. Everyone has a story. Obviously, right now we are in a slow down for that project because obvious reasons. But the connection with the mind and the body, if your mind is in the right place, you can achieve anything you want in your life. And I noticed because my mind was in the wrong place, I failed. I have a lot of issue. When I put my mind in the right way, I achieve a lot of stuff. From 2-3 pull-ups on a row to a snatch to a double under to my photography career. Everything, it has to be in coordination, and that's the project that you and I we started, and like I told you, I always admire you for your discipline. The discipline that you have is admirable, in everything that you do. And not only admire you for the gym, how the gym is managed by you guys, how clean it is, how organized it is, how systematic that is. Dedication. That's love for what you do. And then seeing you getting into music and the dedication, the effort, and the time that you put, it made me realize even more that if your mind is in the right place, you can achieve anything. And that's kind of like the topic that we'll talk today.
Something clicked for me a little bit. I think, when it comes to like what you went through, now you were in a bad place. You said you lost, I didn't know you had lost that much weight in that short of time. That's amazing. But what that does, and I think in terms of what the power of fitness can do, is the more, and especially when you're in a, and I do like that about the group environment, but it, that could happen with one-on-one training too, is the better you become as a mover, the better, and as you start to lose weight or see yourself differently or see yourself someone who is progressing in something. So like, even though, yeah, like I said, let's say a lot of people, their first workout here, you get kind of beat up, but then it's like 6 months down the road, you're actually completing a lot of workouts, maybe RXing some workouts, and you get that confidence. And I think what that does is it unlocks your personal expression and how you express yourself. So, and this is like a Bruce Lee thing just popped in my head. Talks about authentically expressing yourself. Yeah. And that's really tough to do when you are overweight, self-conscious, not feeling self-worth. And we all have those issues. Like, who doesn't? Yeah. Every day I have self-worth. I think everyone does, right? Like we all go through those things. I think maybe as we evolve as people, as we get older, we start to understand ourselves, and we start to form ourselves and how we express ourselves. But I think fitness can be a great platform to find that expression or unlock it. And I think you found it, and then it helped you open up your photography stuff. Like, right, all the good things started happening because you started believing in yourself. And then, and same thing, yeah, I think that is part of my story too. Like I said, it's I've always liked singing. I always like music. Like, I always like my R&B music, my soul music. Mm-hmm. I've always had a keyboard. I've had guitars in the past. Like, I just never did them. I don't know why. I just never. Oh, I don't have time for that or whatever, Yeah. But it was something that probably no one even knew. I mean, maybe like people who walk in the gym when I'm cleaning, I'm listening to, my R&B music, my, Brian McKnight and Boyz II Men and 112 and people like that. And everyone's like, what do you listen to? It's like, oh, I love that type of music. And, like I'll be singing or something. Someone catch me singing while I'm cleaning, and, or go karaoke with me. Like, yeah, I like karaoke. So I think,
my confidence didn't went that high yet. I can't do that with you.
All right. No, we'll get there one day, but no, exactly. Okay. It's something but I think it's my expression. Something I went karaoke with you. I was saying that was like a couple of years ago.
I think, that's when it started, I think, right? I have the video still.
I got on stage and you guys are like, wait, what are you doing? Singing? Like, oh, that was actually pretty good. And I was like, it's something I've always wanted to do. Always seen people in coffee shops, like singing in the corner. And I'm like, I want to be that dude. I really think, like, it's always spoken to me, and it's like just never. I've always been, I got to make money. I got to like focus on other things. I'm fortunate enough and blessed enough where I can kind of fitness is. I mean, equally huge passion, right? If not more, it's kind of brought me up. Just what I focused on the last, 2 decades of my life, basically. So it's what I've gotten good at. So now, that's kind of where I am, and so. Talk a little bit more, and this might be a good segue, because you asked me about this project that you're doing, and you're trying to get people in to do, and you want to blend your photography with people's stories. So,
exactly. The project is
so
like
I know.
it,
Sure,
everybody has a story, and for the past, I have to say, 3 years that I've been a member with you guys. I believe so, 3 years or maybe four.
might be that. Might be
It's
rough.
4 years. It's 4 years because
Crazy.
uh, part of all this transformation as well is thanks to the lady that was always behind my back. Her. She wants to be in the shadow, this is, but she's always there. Like, I call her my angel, and she's like, oh my god. But that's how it's kind of part of that. And it's actually, I started with you when I started dating with her, and it's been 4 years last week. So it's actually 4 years of being a member on that. So literally, you all guys are my family. I see you guys more than my own family, to be honest. Not because I don't like my family, but I'm telling you, it's like, you guys are my family. Everybody in the gym is like my family. You know me. I like to talk. I like to know, how everybody's doing. If anybody, is shy, you know me. I'm the first one saying hi to somebody because I can sense that person. I don't know. It's just like, okay, break the ice. I'm here. You need somebody to talk to me. You don't want to talk, I'll talk to you. But you want to talk, I'll listen to you. So it's kind of like put it all together, like my story. And talking to Diana one time, she said, you know what? I mean, that's a great idea. You should do that with the gym people. And I said, you're totally right. And I said, like, I have right there models and stories. What else did I want? So they come up with this idea. We were driving down to San Diego for a wedding that I was shooting that weekend, and she said, the relationship between mind and the body. And I said, you're a genius. So that's why this idea come together with her. And we started talking that night. We forgot. I mean, I forgot about the wedding that I had to shoot the other day, and I started talking to her a question, and I had my notebook, and I started writing all the stuff and things, little idea. I won't show, but this is my notebook. If you saw my last video, all my diary, I say, I don't know if I pronounce it right. It's my journal actually, but
If I ever get a chance to like see you with that bag, I'm gonna sneak in. I kind of want to read through it.
yeah, it's like, here is where I like, I don't know. Let's for example, I'm in the shower, I think about something, come out, and make a note, like, photo idea that I have, or anything, or a place that I want to research. Something, everything goes here. Techniques that I know of photography, everything goes into my little notebook here. So I start writing everything. So I come out with this plan of photographing at least 5 to 6 people with different background story, different ages. So easy way was starting with you. So, but then I have other people along the lines. I have a few girls that I don't know if they will like to share their story, but it will be awesome because the plan for the project is to have a photo exhibition with the images that I choose that have a relationship for the subject, have an exhibition and a little video short, like, of that person introducing themselves, and kind of like that. So that's why I have a few questions that I'm gonna ask you about the photo shooting. Number one, how do you rate your experience with the photographer?
Yeah, so like Juan said, he's getting into the project where he's going to do photo shoots with people and then have them tell their story, and then have an exhibition where he shares that story, and it will be related to the mind and body. So obviously, like, I'm all in on this because I'm very much into that world and that connection, doing what I do. So we had a photo shoot right before this all kind of went down. Mm-hmm. So it was a great experience. I think it was very comfortable. We did it here at the gym. Like I said, I think you said you might share some photos or share any photo you like. It was all good. But no, you're obviously a very kind person, very easy to work with. So I think I enjoyed it. I think it's always, I think you, as much as, you set things up and were giving direction, also allowed for like some spontaneous creativity. And I was, I think one time I was like, hey, can I grab my guitar? And like I'm sitting there, shirtless with my, like pants on, stuff like that. But so we're doing some movement type foot and
Yeah.
like some animal pose stuff. And I was like, well, like a big part of my story is the music. And like I said, my project is movement plus music in creating this, and bringing those two worlds together with the same connection, the mind and body. It's the same thing, even though it says music, but it's basically meaning the same thing.
Yeah.
Things. But when we were doing that, if I had an idea, I'd be like, hey, what do you think of this? He's like, oh, let's do that. And then that would turn into this thing and kind of probably go a direction. So the photo shoot we do had a great flow to it, a great back and forth. And like, when those creative things get sparking and you're just like, oh, don't move. And then I'm like, and then you're like, you're moving lights around and just these things. And, those are fun. So yeah, that was awesome, man. Like I would do it.
Thank you. So now it's coming to my second question that because in this type of interview, I want to get it into this. So I'm sorry if I interrupt sometime because I think you want to go ahead to my second question.
Yeah, no, it's not
there's not too many questions. There's only a couple questions.
Myself, not really.
So I want to know what is for you fitness?
Yeah, that's for me, it's almost become meditation. It started where it was aesthetic, no doubt. When I first started working out, like end of high school, I played hockey in high school and stuff like that, but I didn't know what I was doing in terms of like fitness wise. Played some roller hockey at a pretty decent level. So I was in good shape. I would run a lot. I like to run. So I think
I know that.
I think I was a smaller person, so I felt my advantage was I don't get tired. Like I wouldn't get tired. I can play. I don't need to get off for a shift. I don't get tired. That was like where I try to push my advantage all the time. I used to read, Men's Health, Fitness. Those are like the only things I would buy. There's a book by Dan Millman called Body Mind Mastery, which is kind of like all this stuff. It connects both those things. Yeah. It's a great book. I should share that with you. Mm-hmm. And that just kind of like he wrote a book called Way of the Peaceful Warrior. And that influenced me big time in terms of how I wanted to express my body. And I think to me, fitness, and it has, like I said, it's evolved more to movement, has been a way for me to express myself and create myself, and just something I've just always had a love for and just had a connection to. I just love going to the gym. I could be at the gym for hours, and I just was like my happy place, And even when I had other jobs, I got my degree in engineering. I worked as an engineer for a little bit. Got into advertising for a few years, right? I always couldn't wait to go to the gym. And then, I think it finally dawned on me, like, why am I not just doing that? And the opportunity came where I started that. And so now it's come to a point where I've been in it, I've been in the fitness world as a trainer since like 2006, 2007. And what I'm starting, I keep coming back to these things. So it's funny, like that book I mentioned earlier, it was all about movement and mind-body connection. And as you get into it, you kind of get focused on certain things. For a while, I was doing the CrossFit competitions too, as the same ones you did. We didn't even know we were at the time.
Yeah, we were right next to each other, but we never met there.
All the same shirts. We even met at one before.
Yeah, that's when we met.
Right, so like that for a while it was about CrossFit competitions and getting good at CrossFit because that's what I opened. I just saw the CrossFit theory made so much sense, which it still does. I did a little video on that recently. The CrossFit, nothing will get you fitter, but like I said, there's a place for everything. So as much as I have these discussions with people, like I am a CrossFit owner, but I see CrossFit as technically it could be umbrella of everything. I think the highest level CrossFit is that, and now like people will call like movement culture is out there. People doing the animal flow or a lot of hand balancing and flow work and calisthenic work. I think that's just that big umbrella of movement really is the next thing that really got me excited. And I see CrossFit as, the fitness aspect and the ability to increase your workload. Like that's part of everything. But for me now, it's starting to evolve to this, how well I move and how coordinated I am, and maybe stuff that will take me like longer in my, like take me to like really move well. Like I want to be 80 years old and someone like see me like move and they'll be like, how the heck are you 80? That blows my mind.
How you can move so well, yeah.
Something to maintain, but then, but also like, while I don't look at training as effort and as like oh man, I got to train. Like to me, when I'm locked into a workout, and you'll know this, like especially when you're in like a WOD for time and you're working against other people, your mind goes into the zone. Like you are not mindless, you're more mindful, and you're literally present in the moment. You're here now. That's what you're doing. You're not thinking about how crappy your day was at work. You're not thinking about, oh my God, I go rush home after this and make dinner. Like you're in it. And that's why I meant by earlier on when I said it's meditative. And I've learned that and I love that. So like when everyone's like, oh, I don't want to go work out, I'm like, it's like the best part of your day when you can just, one, you're helping move your joints, your body, and getting things going. And we're beings that are meant to move.
Mm-hmm.
It can be used as a platform to progress, and you have goals to get better. You want to do pull-ups, you want to bring muscle up. Like the progression to get to those, the discipline it takes will carry over into your life. Like you said, like you talked about earlier, that's going on. So there's so many good nuggets and gems that can be pulled out of fitness. And just as a coach, those are things I see too. Like in a moment, like I'm definitely not someone who is motivated by someone yelling at me. Like but I want, when I see someone struggling in workout, it's more talking to them being like, hey, I love the effort you're giving me.
Yeah.
What you learn here, and like if you push through this, when you have that big meeting, you're gonna push through that too. Like you can learn those things in this moment.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, fitness has become that. And I'm learning, and I'm taking those. Sorry, there's an airplane going. So now
I miss those guys.
I'm taking that lesson and those good gems of information and knowing that, and kind of in those lessons of like process and learning. Now, like I said, and being able to control my mind into the music. So now as I'm like, I'm struggling.
So you answered my second question.
Okay. Sorry. I told you once I get talking to you, I'm like you. Yeah.
No, my second question was, you already gave me the opinion about what's fitness for you. And my second question was going to be, how do you find your motivation? You already answered to me that you keep moving. Your motivation is you want to get home and be able to move and not be like in a chair like down. But my third question is how you transmit that motivation to somebody who is in the gym, because I see sometimes people, they go in there and they feel this hard, they lack of motivation. They oh yeah, I want to do this, but they don't coming back. So how you transfer that motivation that you have, that passion, into somebody? And then we'll go to how we relate the other question to the music.
Sure. So I think I think the best thing to do as a coach, and from what I found works with me, is when someone is struggling and is to literally have a conversation with them and just meet them where they are in that moment. And let's say, someone comes in, they're first, a couple workouts in, and they're on the side, or they're just like feeling, it's like, I got to take a minute. In that moment when they say, I need to take a minute, I'm like, good. I'm like, I'm glad you're listening to your body. Like, take a minute, do what you need to do, and then kind of just start, kind of see what they're feeling. And I'm like, you don't have to finish. There's no right or wrong. You already did more than you've done in years, right? So good job. Like, this is like, you will work off of this. And then maybe get into, I think it's knowing, just doing this over time, what direction to go. I guess it depends on the person, but a lot of times it might be getting into just, like I said, I like getting almost life lessony in a way, and saying, like if you if you can get through one more round, you know what I mean? Like you'll feel amazing from it. And just know that like the way to progress is going to be through failure. We all struggle here. Like no matter how good you get, there's always another level to obtain. There's always going to be someone better, someone worse. So like I said, you've already given the effort I appreciate, but if you're going to get up and go some more, that's going to be on you, and you'll win from that. Let's do it safe. If your knee's hurting or something, hey, stop. Like it's not, but if you're just a little winded or just going through some emotional stuff, like to be able to sit there and like just talk like we are right now and to have that one-on-one, I think is important. And it's not, I believe if a coach, and there might be a place for this, there might be a place, you'll know if you're a good coach when to go there. But if you're just always yelling at people and being like, stop being a up, that kind of thing. I say that. So like, get up and suck it up and go like, I think you push people away. And like I said, I think there might be a place for that. And I'm a big believer. I think the loudest, I shouldn't say the loudest, but the most aggressive coaches are the worst, because I think they're covering up their ability to communicate with people by yelling.
One time I hear this, that the CrossFit is not bad or dangerous. It's bad coaches are dangerous and bad for CrossFit.
Sure, and right, exactly. It's like pushing people through moments and maybe looking at movement too. And I think people will respect you if you're doing it. So I'm a big believer. I do 6 of the WODs a week. And I think that is super important to do the workouts you program to be authentic. Because then someone can come to you. Like how many people come to the class and be like, oh, I saw your time today. Like, what did you do? What's your strategy? Like that's so important to have that knowledge and then, like I said, authenticity. Because then you can go to people and be like, hey, I just did this WOD today. You were in burpee number 50 of 100. I know exactly where you are. Yeah. Just put down into 5s, slow it down. You can do this. I felt the same thing earlier. And people will get that. Instead of being like, get your ass up. And then they're like, well, you didn't even do the workout, dude. Like,
yeah. I hear you. I know how it is.
That kind of, I don't know why but that's how I maybe talk to people. I think it's important just to have a conversation, and then you kind of go from there on kind of how to pull them back in and help them understand the bigger picture and what they can get out of it. And I think the people that stick kind of understand that and they see it and want to get better will stay, especially in like a CrossFit environment. Yeah. Really struggle or really don't want it won't stay, because this type of training, especially CrossFit training, and something you need to be disciplined with, will expose you. Yeah. And it's, and like I said, and all these things I'm saying right now are things I'll have conversations with people with. Mm-hmm. And having that depth of conversation is what can like trigger certain things in people.
The motivation can click up in some people.
Yeah. Right? So I think motivation from just the knowledge of it and just making, like I said, bringing people back to perspective and being in the moment, and then taking, not letting them fly away and bringing them back. You see some very cool things. You see some people who just, the progressions and stuff is unbelievable. And James, who's kind of new, like taller James.
Yeah.
First workout, he on the warm up, he went and laid. He doesn't mind telling me the story, I hope. And then he just went and lied on the bench. If you look at him now, he's the one posting the most on Instagram right now, like doing all the work at home. And his progression, he's always strong. He's a strong dude. He's just built as a strong person. But I also think he's realizing that. Like, I'm the strongest guy in the gym, and he doesn't even like work out.
He doesn't realize that. Yeah.
No, he's starting to learn things about himself, and I think I'm starting to see his dedication. Like, he's here. I mean, there's the days he was here, and I was like here, and I like locked the door on him because he was here early. Like, I was like, is he here? I was like, that was weird. And then like he's putting in the time, and I think he went from literally not being able to do the warm up to now completing workouts. He can probably RX most work. He couldn't do a pull up. Now he's doing pull ups. Like, I actually think he has a bar muscle up in his future. The last time I saw him do like chest to bar, like his height and power he gets, he has such power that I think he's starting to realize these things. So you see his expression get better, and And, you know, it'd be cool, interesting to understand how he feels, or how maybe it's affected his life. And is he more expressive at work now? And has he seen growth in his life because of that? And I think that's kind of going to your story too. But
yeah, I love that motivation stuff. So that's how, because my last question, how you transfer that motivation into somebody, is kind of like I see you, or me, for example, you in the times of music, you know, I know you had it in you, right? You had it in you, you knew that, but how somebody or something happened that transferred that motivation for you to start music.
yeah.
So it coming into my question, how you relate the fitness with your music journey that you started.
Sure. So I think
how you started, what happened to you, what made you click that you put the same amount of discipline or even more, or actually the same amount, because you're good that you put into your fitness, into your music.
Yeah, I think so the big thing for me was my grandma was really sick. So the December before last, I went home, and for 2 weeks, because I knew my grandma was really sick. My mom was caretaking for her, and she wasn't doing good. And while I was home, I had a lot of perspective on how long we have to live. Like, you know, it was like pretty wicked. She was not doing very good. I feel like I'm going to cry right now. But she couldn't do anything. And my mom was literally wiping her down, you know, like literally everything. It was pretty intense. And I think it gave me a lot of time to like journal and think at that time. Like I said, 2 weeks home with just my mom, my grandma, like that was tough. We actually, my mom's cousin, her husband passed away too, and we actually took my grandma to his funeral at the same time. Kind of, it was just powerful kind of trip home, and it woke me up to some things, being like, am I doing enough? Like, am I getting the most out of this life? I need to like travel more. I need to like do things. Like, what am I? And it's like I said, music has always been one that was speaking to me. And I said, you know what? I'm finally gonna like. My mom was learning piano. She has a piano at home.
Oh yeah.
I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do that. Like, I always want to be the dude in the coffee shop. Like, I'm doing it. Like, you know what? Why am I not doing it? Like, and then, you know, a lot of these rules in terms of like fitness and what it gave me in discipline and learning the process of things. Like, I know these things, and I'm just like, you know what? I'm committing. So I put out a video on Instagram when I got back, singing like an Ed Sheeran song. And I just put, you know what? I said, you know what? I'm putting this out there, as if you know me, like, and being on karaoke, I like singing.
Yeah.
And this was probably like even, you know, just before. I probably just put that out, and then we went and did the karaoke thing. But I think I was like, I'm just putting this out there because I want to expose myself to it. And then I started looking for a vocal coach, and I found the School of Rock in Huntington. They're actually the only people that get back to me, which is crazy. So I just went there. I had a free lesson. In my free lesson, I started singing. We did "Man in the Mirror" by Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
You know, like, gonna make a change, that one. So I started singing that, and then the adult band coach like literally came and knocked on the door. He's like, "Who are you, dude?" He's like, "That was awesome." And I was like, "Oh, thanks." Like, he's like, "You sign up here, you should join the adult band." And I was like, "What's the adult band? That sounds cool."
Yeah.
And yeah, we rehearse every Wednesday. We do shows. I'm like, "What?" And I was like, yes. Like, why? Like, it all started like, you know, like when you put it out there and you're in the right, it just, you have the right energy into something. It's crazy what is brought to you. You know, like I'm not a religious person, but I would say I'm probably a spiritual person. Like, I definitely believe in that energy, and I believe in when you're authentic and kind and you open up the space for that, things like that kind of come into your life. And I totally did. And that's where, so a year ago, you know, like in end of January, February, like, so for about a year, I've been into music. I went and bought a guitar, and then I said, and then, like I said, last show, I performed 2 songs with a guitar on stage.
It was awesome. We'll have some pictures on.
Yeah.
Like, it will be some pictures.
But it's
Actually, the people they're looking at the picture right now
oh nice.
in this video. So that you did, it was something. Once again, the same words coming up always: inspiration,
Yep.
um, mm,
Expression, how you express yourself.
how you express inspiration, how you express yourself, the relationship in between, you know,
Yes.
you and the guitar and microphone, motivation, what drive you to, all those stuff. Say it all has to be in synchronized, synchronized, right?
Absolutely.
Synchronized.
When it
So,
does sync up, like
mhm,
the magic happens. Just
exactly.
like your story, it all sort of synced up, and
Yeah,
then it kind of clicked, and you're like, "Whoa, this is what I need to do." And then
yeah,
once you know what your why is and your purpose, like
yeah.
those it's going to start to bubble and grow, and it pulls different people into your life. And like you've taken some great photos at my shows, and we just did this project.
Mhm.
So these things just start happening, and it's just keep coming into the present to kind of like stay on that course. I think is important. And now it's just a matter of the process, right? Doing the process and doing the work. Just like getting a pull up, it's going to be a matter of like practicing guitar. I mean, I practiced guitar the
Get
last year. I mean, probably from like January to January, everyone left here. I practiced guitar for 2 to 3 hours a night, and that got me in a year 2 songs. Basically, it took a lot of work, and
Yeah.
I don't know much, but I'm still taking lessons and I'm still growing, and putting in those 10,000 hours kind of thing.
That's when sometimes I ask, I talk about photography, and people ask me, oh, how how do you know that, how I can be a better photographer? Just practice. Nobody ever gonna know how many. For example, to get that photograph right there, you see, yeah, it's a nice photograph, it's cool and everything, but nobody ever gonna know or find out that I took 100 before getting that one. So, or I went 4 times to the same place until I get one. Uh, so, which
Exactly.
brings me to my last war, consistent. You have to be consistent in something to make it work. Yeah, call it CrossFit, exercise, own a gym, have a wedding photography business, have a photography hobby. You have to be consistent. Your relationship, you have to be consistent in everything. You have to always be honest to yourself and to everybody else, and be out there. And so that's how I see this journey that at literally at the same time we started together. You started with your music, I started with my projects and stuff, and my YouTube channel now. And it's kind of like, the only when people ask me, oh, how I can become a better photographer, just grab a camera and go shoot. Keep practicing. Shoot until you get to know your camera and get discover your passion, your niche, or something. Like I love to photograph people. That's my main thing. I love to capture the eye, the soul, the vision of the people. Portrait photography is one of my favorite thing. I love that, but I don't stop there.
Right.
I want to know how to do landscape photography, how to do Milky Way shot. I keep going, and I keep learning and learning. It's the best thing that you can do. It is best in yourself. So that's why you want to get something out of it. Put the 10,000 hour, put the effort on it. Why, and all this video is about motivation, relationship, and coordination between your mind and your body. And I hope our project have it will have the payoff for sure. So I had an awesome time doing the photo shooting too. You're really easy to work with, really good model. I love that. I hope your music career get to the max when you put your first album.
We'll see about that. I want to perform in coffee shops. That's my goal. I want to.
That's what I was about to say. Your album should be the guy in the coffee shop. That should be the title of either or a song or your album. And you have to have two songs. You don't need to have a long play. Two songs. That's that I know you can do it. I know you will. So, and that brings me to probably my last question for you today about once again our journey. So we already talked about what's fitness for you, how you find motivation, how you motivate somebody else, and how you connect your fitness through your music. We talk about that. My last question will be, what do you, I don't know, where you see yourself in, where you see yourself in the next year, for next year, what do you see yourself? I don't know if that will be the best question to finish
that's a good question.
But where do you see yourself,
I think we'll both see ourselves evolve in different things. So for me, I'm setting up my movement plus music side of things. So it's literally movementplusmusic.com. Actually, my buddy Phil working on a logo right now, and it's a matter of putting out content for that. And the purpose of that page will be basically the same purpose of what your project is to have one fitness, which is sort of like my bread and butter right now. But then I also have music, which is like news, like my baby. Taking all the things I've learned here and all of that process I've learned and putting it into this, and then but also sharing that. And then it's also going to allow me to having a podcast and having some YouTube content and all of the above. Like what I want to do is be able to talk to people, and I want to get information from people. I want to talk to musicians and be like, what's your process? Like, how did you get to where you are? Like we talked about, they put their time into things, and that's why they're good. They weren't just like born with this unbelievable music ability. I mean, some people obviously have certain things.
Some people has a talent natural, right? Like, some others we have to work more.
Practice piano or practice guitar for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours. You're just not that good. Like you have to put in the time. Like you can have twins and time one doesn't, then obviously that's what happens. But you got to put in the time. So I want to know people's same way. I want to get people's stories because I want to know their process, and I want that information. So one, I can be a little more efficient in what I do. But then also, like I said, the connection between the mind, body stuff is just so ingrained in what I love, and taking those two things I love. So I would love to be an influencer, but an influencer by showing my process of me doing it. Cause like, I can't really
you're showing your progress of that.
With the fitness stuff, I can't show you the last 30 years of my life that maybe I started running when maybe 25 years of my life when I started running or trying to do push-ups or pull-ups, I don't have that. I don't have that content, but I have the music content now. Like if you go on my Instagram, you can see me be really, really bad at guitar about a year ago. And what that's going to show is the process. So I can take what I've learned here, but now I can show the journey with the music. And that is pumping me up because I want to put that stuff out, even though I know I'm not good. Like I know people like comment and be like, oh man, that was actually kind of good. But like, it's not anything like I know where I'm at. Like I know I'm not that good at it because I haven't put it, but I know what it takes to get good at it, and I'm putting in the time. And I'm like, watch. Like I had a couple people early on say some pretty like comments that were like, I don't want to say it because I don't want to expose those people and make them feel bad. Because they're friends.
I'll dig for them. I'll see.
It was like, don't quit your day job was one of them.
Exactly. Yeah.
Stuff like that. I'm like, I know, but I know I'm bad. But I also know that I will be bad until I'm not, and I'm just gonna keep working until I'm not.
But if you keep putting your effort, and we're coming back to our project, that we're working out. If you put your mind right there, and you're body follow, you'll get that, you'll achieve that thing that you want.
Yes.
And so
Yeah.
I love when people tell me that I'm not good at something. I love that. I
Same
keep doing it. I keep doing it.
doesn't mean you're doing something. So like if someone's saying that, it just means you're doing it. It just like it almost like proves that you're in the process of it and should be an affirmation. So what's failure is the whole way you get better at something. Like we fail forward. That's just how things work. Like we are beings of adaptation, right?
Mhm.
Like if you want bigger arms, do more curls. Like if you want to if you want better aerobic capacity, do CrossFit, run more. Like it's just
Yeah.
your body will adapt. If you want to be a better guitarist, play guitar. Your fingers, that's gonna connect. Like
Yeah.
it's just a matter of putting in the time. So yeah. So when there is someone, and they're not, I don't know if people being, it wasn't so much like negativity. It's just, but it is a comment like that. And you know that you're not that good. It just exposes like that should be just. It should be a trigger in a good way to be like, oh, someone said something like that. That means you're doing it, and
Yeah.
you're exposing yourself out there, and that will pay off. So yes, so negative comments are a
I
beautiful
welcome. I welcome. Are the the
constructive.
are the 1.2 the 1.21 gigawatt that we need, right, Julie?
Oh
um,
wait, and they should also fire you up too, right? Yeah, I was always kidding.
exactly. Yeah. It's like I normally when I search a lot, watch a lot of videos on YouTube, and even there's someone's are not okay, right? I go in the comments and I see people telling that person, oh, you're not good for this or whatever, or they put a thumb down. Okay, that person took their precious time to do what they love, to post it out there. Why you have to go and tell not, so that I will never do that. If I don't like it, it's just either don't leave a comment, keep going, move on, or I give a like because the effort that that person put. That's why my videos, the first couple videos, I know they're not good. I know that I tremble, I'm stiff, I have a lot of things to learn, but I will keep going. I know that next year when I watch those videos back, I'm gonna say, oh my God, what was that? And I'm gonna be much better. But I want to keep authentic, be myself, always. And
Exactly. That's you get it.
that's
That's
it. So it was great to talk to you. Our project going to be great, and hopefully the next month we are in April 22nd. I don't know. I don't even know what day it is.
23rd.
April something. I need a haircut. Sorry that I wear my hat. I need a haircut.
So I'm
Like
actually
like everybody, I think in this situation, I need a nice haircut. But hopefully next month we can go back a little bit to normal, if that's something that we all will ever be back to normal. I don't know, but so we can keep going the process. I know I have a few girls and guys in the list that have been waiting. I don't want to compromise them to come into my little garage and photograph there, because I don't know what.
no,
Yeah,
it's a lot
I don't know. I just rather like take the distance for now. Not good for that stuff. But anyways, so well, thank you for join me and join us in this. Thank you for being a great model and a great leader. I see you as a leader. You together with all the Vibe people. Uh, I'm gonna name them so they don't feel sad. Tien, P, Seraphine, Noe, and your brother. I always forget his name between Greg and Greg. So I always confuse he with Greg, Jeff, so Greg. So to be honest and apologize, please forgive me. Nicole, right?
yes.
There you
I
go.
said,
So
yeah.
I got them all.
You worked at 12 team last year. Yeah, you got them all.
Okay, so I always sometimes when I see Greg, I tell him Jeff, and I sometimes in my head, but that's always like uh, it's a pleasure to work out there and be a member of CrossFit Vibe, and so we'll leave links of all these in the video, um, in the description below. We'll leave all the links for your page, the gym page, your music website, and all that. Whoever wants to, dig more about us and intrigue, can go and click those links. And if you guys like the video and what we talk in the content, please give it a thumbs up, and not give us a thumbs down, so we can keep going and make more videos about that. But thank you so much, Jeff, for connecting, and it was a pleasure. Hopefully your photograph helped me to one day, I don't know, be displayed in some gallery. That's my goals. I do photograph for one day to display something in a gallery. I don't know.
Oh yeah. Anyway, good place. Cool.
I'll see you soon. Ciao.
Later. See ya.
Okay.